Tim Walz, first off, since we're talking about him, is he too far left?
I don't think he's too far left. I think he is just awesome. I mean, he's gruff, he's rough, he's plain speaking. He's been very successful as a governor in Minnesota. But we're up by 10 points. The Dems are up by 10 points in Minnesota. And there's a real feeling in the party that we need help in swing states. We only got 100 days to go. And if we're tied, we can pull away in part in some of those swing states, whether it's Arizona or whether it's Wisconsin or whether it's Pennsylvania. And right now, Arizona and Pennsylvania seem to be really, really important. So I don't think it's a question of it being too liberal. I think it's a question of who can help us win and pull ahead in some of those swing states.
And candidates, based on their record, based on how they've voted publicly, where they stand on some of these key issues of those swing states, who do you think complements Kamala Harris the best, gives her a boost?
Oh, I think that decision and call is up to Kamala Harris, but all of them are very talented. You know, one thing about Biden stepping down, it has really shown and magnified the deep bench the Democrats have. Pennsylvania is very attractive and interesting because of Shapiro, and he's young. He's a moderate, if you will. He goes on the other side with the Republicans on a few things like school vouchers, but there's no perfect candidate. Who doesn't want an astronaut, a senator from Arizona, to be on the ticket? I mean, he punches all the tickets or he punches all the boxes and stuff. It'll be up to Kamala Harris. My good friend Eric Holder and his team at Covington and Burling are vetting all of these individuals, and we'll see what happens by the 7th of August.
Scott, what does that vetting process look like behind the scenes?
Oh, gosh. You know, as a former prosecutor, it's an investigation. You know, every candidate in America, local, state, or federal, ought to do a self-investigation on themselves. We actually hire investigators to investigate who the candidate is, right? And so you pour through public records, private records. You talk to family members, community groups, neighbors, if you will. You look at credit reports. You look at whether they've got a criminal record, which most of them don't, if you will. And then you look at their politics and how that fits into kind of the nuance and the soft spots of who's going to be a VP candidate. But most importantly, it's up to Kamala Harris. Who does she have a personal relationship? Who does she feel comfortable with? Who's ready to lead? Lots of questions. The investigation may be at the base of it, and then ultimately, I think Kamala Harris will interview these individuals. Who does she have a rapport with? Who does she trust? And who's ready to lead if something happens to her? Hopefully not. But who's ready to lead?
What would be a disqualifying characteristic? I mean, a criminal record, yes, but how about things you've said in the past? I mean, how far back are they going? We're looking at some comments J.D. Vance made that are coming back to haunt him.
I forgot about all the things I said 10, 20, 30, 40
I forgot what I
ago.
said yesterday.
I know. Who knows what I said? I mean, I run into people. Sometimes I've offended them. Sometimes I haven't. I think the J.D. Vance issue is different, though, because every time Trump and J.D. Vance attack Kamala Harris or J.D. Vance, we're talking more about J.D. Vance right now than Donald Trump. It's like the GOP presidential ticket has given up on the woman vote, black, white, yellow, or brown. And so past comments, if you will, are one thing about policy, and you can grow as a candidate and you can change your position like Kamala Harris has. But if you attack a group of voters, if you attack individuals, if you attack a whole segment, right, it's hard to take that back. And including whether you supported the presidential candidate or not. If you are opposed to him and you publicly opposed him, and now for a power grab, you're supporting him, credibility still matters in these races, and credibility still matters with these voters.
For better or worse, I think Donald Trump, Scott, is the only one who can get away with saying about anything, and his supporters will stand by him, right? I mean, he just gets a pass on him.
He's a universal offender. He's a universal offender.
Right? And people love it. People love it. A. Scott Bolden, always a pleasure. See you next time.
Always good to see you. Thank you.